Hello, Lazza here. Today I'm excited. 1.13 is out on the App Store. If you have not realized already, go ahead and update it. Go download it, update it to 1.13. But anyway, in today's video, we're checking out some shaders, of course. Like, why wouldn't we? Of course we are. Of course. So I've got a bunch of ultra shaders, which actually are old shaders. So I have covered all these shaders in the past in previous videos, which I will link them all in the description if you do want to go ahead and download them and try them. But the reason I wanted to do this video is to show you that all these shaders still work in 1.13. Woo! If you are enjoying today's video, make sure you smash the like button. If you are new, please subscribe. I've got some great ultra shaders coming, brand new ultra shaders coming for 1.13 in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for the best shaders in Pocket Edition, my channel. That's where you want to be at. But anyway, let's jump straight into it. As you can see, I am in 1.13, ready to test these shaders to show you that they actually work in 1.13. So if we create a new map, as you can see here, we've got a bunch of shaders to test to show you that they work. So let's jump straight into it. We'll go from top to bottom. But anyway, let's just move on to, I guess, TSPE version 5. As you can see, loading into it, it still does work in 1.13. Look at that water, absolutely amazing. Where's that sun? Beautiful. As I have done videos on these shaders in the past, there's no point me going through talking about every single feature. And yeah, so pretty much I'll just go into the shader, show you that it works. I'll have all my UI hidden so you can, I guess, get a bit of a cinematic feel for it. But anyway, as you can see, it works. I suppose I might as well show the Ultra one that it works as well, because, you know, they're different files, so you never know, it might not work, but we'll just load into it to show you that it works. Hopefully it doesn't lag. It will lag probably. It's pretty ultra. Oh, I was a bit scared there for a second. It went invisible. So as you can see, loading into it, the Ultra version does work as well. And my God, that lag when you look at the sun, oh boy. So as you can see, it works. Very nice indeed. Anyway, moving on, we'll just chuck on Pyro Shader. I believe that's going to get updated soon as well, so stay tuned when I do make a video on it. So loading into it, I reckon the sun will still be a bit glitched, but it still works loading into it. So as you can see, loading into Pyro Shader, that it still actually works. So yeah, the sun is a bit... It has the sun flares, but it's still a bit buggy, which, as you can tell by the big circle around the sun, which I believe the shader is going to get updated soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, as you can see, the shader does work very nicely. So moving on to the next one, which is Bicubic Shadow. So as I said before, this shader is going to get updated. I do have like a beta build of this shader, which I did test out for the creator to see if it worked on iOS pretty much, and it did work. He's just got to fix a few bugs, I think. But as you can see, loading into it, it does work very nicely, as you can see by that beautiful skies, that water, and yeah, so pretty much this shader still works in 1.13. So moving on, we do have ASBA. So this shader I think is also going to get updated as well very soon. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, this shader is pretty nice. It should work. I'm just testing them all out for the first time here. So let's see if it works. So as you can see, loading into it, ASBA shader still works as well. And look at that lovely sun reflection on the water there. Very nice indeed. So yeah, pretty much still works. Let's move on to the next one. Let's just crush these out, get them out very quickly, because we've got a few shaders. I honestly didn't even count them. There's probably more than 10 shaders. I know you probably have seen these on my channel in the past, but you know, I'm just going through them, as I said, to make sure they work on 1.13. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. Also, another feature I do like in 1.13 is that you can customize the text. How cool is that? So you can customize the chat settings, which I think is amazing. So you can change the color. That's pretty cool. Do recommend checking that out if you do have 1.13. So the next one I am checking out is S Position. So as I said when I did do a video on this shader, you do need to turn off render clouds if you are on iOS, or it's just going to crash and not going to work. But loading into it, it should work in 1.13. The sun is still a bit buggy because the creator hasn't, I guess, got it working on iOS for the sun. So then this shader, the clouds are looking nice. And I do like how it has the cloud shadow reflection on the ground there. That's pretty cool. And the water is, of course, looking very beautiful. So the next shader we are checking out is Zaffar's Ultra Shader. So this one still does work in 1.13. So as you can see, the water is a bit choppy there, but it does look very nice and realistic. But when I do run it on my phone, there's no lag whatsoever. So that's, I guess, maybe my iPad. But anyway, so yeah, as you can see, Zaffar's Ultra Shader. Like, there's other versions anyway. There's like a low, there's a medium, there's a high version. I just got the Ultra one because I'm not going to go through every single version. But as you can see, it does work in 1.13. So we are crushing through them, and the next one is SuPe. So the creator of this one is currently still working on his upcoming shader, which I think is going to be the best Pocket Edition shader ever. So when it does come out, stay tuned because I will be doing a video on it straight away. And it is honestly looking so promising to be the best PC-like shader for Pocket Edition. Just amazing. Anyway, loading into the old SuPe shader, as you can see, it still works, has that lovely skies, has that beautiful sky. And of course, you know why we're here. It's because of that water. Very nice, very beautiful, very realistic. So the next shader we are checking out is Zed Shaders 2. So the cool thing about this shader, this one is actually a bit more compatible on lower end devices. I have used this shader on my old iPad Air 1, which is like I think 1 GB RAM, and it's not that powerful, and this shader does not lag on it. So if you are on a lower end device, then this shader is good for you. So as you can see, loading into it, it does what it says. It works. So as you can see, it has that sun and also has that nice water on top of it, which I think is pretty cool. It also does have that sun reflection on the water there, which I think is a nice touch in this shader. And as I said, you can use this on older devices or lower end devices, and it's going to work perfectly fine without lag. So if you want to check it out, I do recommend checking it out, and it does work in 1.13. Ooh. So the next shader I am checking out is DSPE. So I will be checking out all the versions, so 8.0, 9.0, and I think the most recent one. And just to show you that they still work. So you got a bit of an option on which one you like to pick, depending on, I guess, on how you feel about it. But anyway, loading into it, as you can see, it still works. So I believe this one was the version 9, so let's move out of this one. So you see it works, so might as well move on to the next one, the next DSPE. So this one is DSPE 8, and as you can see, loading into it, it still works. It works in 1.13, which is very nice. I do like it. A lot of these older shaders are still working in 1.13. It's good that they didn't change the code up too much on the game, so all these older shaders can still work, which is very nice, because a lot of these older ones are very nice. So we might as well finish off with the most recent version of DSP. I actually believe it got updated, so I may do a video on the updated version of DSP soon, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, loading into the, I guess, second most updated version of DSPE, you will see that it works in 1.13. It's got those beautiful, honestly, beautiful skies. Really love those clouds in this shader, and the water is also looking very nice. As you can see, boom. So the next shader we are checking out is Freshwater Shader. I like this shader because it has a unique type of water, and it works in 1.13 loading into it. But yeah, I do like this shader because of the water. It actually legitimately looks like fresh water. So I guess that's probably why it's called Freshwater Shader. But as you can see, loading into it, you've seen it on my channel before. But boom, look at that water. It's just so sick. And look how bright that sun is. Oh my god. So we are getting to the end of these shaders here, so we're moving on to TSP. This is the older version. So this is version 3.0, and surprisingly, this one's a bit older, and it still works in 1.13, which is cool. So you got a bit of variety. If you want to use TSPE, you got a bit of variety. There's like 3 different versions. I do recommend the number 5 though, the most recent version, because it looks sick. But anyway, as you can see, loading into it, it does work. Has that nice water on top of it as well, and also it does implement those 3D looking blocks, which I think is pretty cool. So we might as well check out the other TSPE shader here. So we got number 4 here, loading into number 4. So this was the version before the latest version. Oh, ooh, getting confusing there. So as you can see, loading into it, you will see that it works in version 1.13. As you can see, it has that nice water on top of it. Beautiful. Look at that sun reflection. Beautiful. So the next one we are checking out is Creeper Shader. So this one is the paid shader, but it is honestly worth it if you ever do want to purchase a shader to support the creator. I do recommend checking out Creeper Shader because it's honestly so amazing, and he is working on an update for this shader, which it looks amazing. Like, it has the most beautiful skies ever. I can't wait to use it. But anyway, as you can see, loading into it, this version of Creeper Shader still works in 1.13. Very beautiful. Probably one of the most realistic waters in Minecraft Pocket Edition. It just looks so sick, and honestly, it's just amazing. Do recommend checking out Creeper Shader, and we've got one more shader to go. Come on, son, don't start setting on me now. We need the bright light to see the shader. So the last shader we are checking out is Zed Shader. So this is honestly a very good shader. It is very disappointing though that this shader is no longer going to be getting updated. So the creator put out saying that people have been stealing his code. I honestly think TSPE used his code, and it sucks that people go out using other people's code. I don't condole it. I don't support it. Sometimes I do put videos on by accidentally what does have code stolen, and I don't realize till it's too late. But anyway, as you can see, look how beautiful that sky is. Seriously, One of the best suns you'll ever see in Minecraft. Pocket Edition, so sick. Sucks it won't be getting updated because it's so cool, and that water is also very nice as well. Look at that, it's like a different kind of water, but it's cool in a different way, if you know what I mean. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you did enjoy it, if you already knew these shaders, I do apologize. I just wanted to go through them so you know that they work in 1.13. As you can see, we're in 1.13. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you smash the like button. If you are new, please subscribe. Let's get to 40,000 by the end of the year. It's probably not going to happen, but it'll be so amazing if it does happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.